Hey guys, so I thought I'd just do a quick chat about shoes, the shoes I run in, that I've ran in over the past 5 years since I've started. We'll just start with Asics. These are the shoes that have worked for me and the ones that haven't. So I thought I'd just share with you, and this might be a bit useful. So we'll start off with the back row. So on the table right now, we just have the Asics shoes I've worn in the past. We'll get to the other shoes later. So these six back here, 6 pairs of Keanos. So the Keanos are my first running shoe. They fit very well. Each shoe I've done about 500 kilometers in. So they're great shoes. They just start to wear out and you can tell when they've had its time. So they have a great shoe, great starting shoe. And yeah, they help me because I have flat feet and my feet pronate in when I run. So these were really good for that. They are slightly heavier and they're a bit more chunky. But that's good, the stability is good, and it's good for those longer runs or easy runs. Then we're moving on to my first Asics carbon plated shoes. So these were very quick. These are the Metaspeed Skies. So they're used for race days or tempo runs. They were a good shoe when they came out. These are, I think, the GT 2000s. I never really ran in them, more like a gym shoe. But they are okay for running. And at the front here we have the Blast family. So with the Blast, we have the Nova Blast, which again, I didn't like to run in. I didn't feel they were stable enough, and the sole wasn't thick enough, so they just became another gym shoe. These are my favorite shoes of all time, the Mega Blast. So the Mega Blast, they just came out, I think 2025, and they're an amazing all-rounder shoe. Long runs, tempo runs, threshold runs, and yeah, they're just really good. They are, I think, carbon as well, carbon plated. And then we have here, these shoes I haven't even worn yet, the Sonic Blast. So I can't tell you how they are, but I'm sure they're great. And then we have the Super Blast. So these are my new favorite shoes. I had to buy another pair, haven't worn the black either. I thought I'd just get a freshie because I'm worried they might be discontinued. So they are very good, again, all around the shoe. They're like the Keanos for me, but a lot lighter, a lot more stable and quicker. You can use them for any single run. They're not as quick as the Mega Blast, but they are very comfortable. So I use them for all my long runs. So there you have it. That's all my Asics shoes that I've worn over the years. So yeah, I pretty much alternate right now between these two, Mega Blast and Sonic Super Blast. So these are my two weekly shoes I wear. And I'll show you now the other shoes. Okay, so now we're moving on to something a little faster. We got some Nikes, Sauconys, and others. So I'll just start with the others. On running shoes, again, I'm sure they have other good brands. These are my first. They just became another gym shoe. And then the Hoka, I think these are the Cliftons. Didn't really like these either. They just weren't stable enough, not enough cushion, and they gave me shin splints actually. So those can go in the bag. We'll move on to the Sauconys. So Sauconys, I just actually started wearing them in 2025, just alternating from the usual Asics. So these ones, I think they're the Endorphins, so the Endorphin Speeds. Great all-rounder, everyday shoe. I just wore them for my easy runs and some tempo runs. Something a little bit more advanced from that, these are carbon plated. You can wear these maybe for half marathons or 10K runs, which I have, and they worked really well. For me, they were stable, they have good response, they were quick, they were light, they were like the Saucony Endorphins, but these are the Pros. So they're in the Pro 4s. So these were, again, really good shoes, very quick. And then something even quicker, probably the best marathon shoes I've worn. I wore these for 3 marathons this year. Sydney Marathon, Melbourne Marathon, and Ironman Western Australia. So again, these are probably the first super shoe, carbon plated, that didn't give me blisters anytime. So they were good. I've got a bit of a wider foot, so they worked well. Very light, very thick heel. And yeah, really like these as a marathon shoe. And I would only wear them on marathon days because the more you wear them, like, they don't give you as much cushion and response anymore. Again, guys, with these carbon plated shoes, I'll just let you know, these shoes are only as good as the runner. So the more you give the shoe, the more it will give you back. The more power you give the shoe, it's just gonna excel you forward more. So you can't be like a beginner runner, and I've made this mistake, buying the fastest, most expensive shoe and be like, why am I getting fast? Why am I running faster? Because you first need to be a faster runner in order for these to work. So start from the easier shoes and then work your way up. But yeah, Saucony's really good, really enjoyed them. They work well with my feet. And now the Nikes, we'll move on to the Nikes. So the Nike shoes, they're not the best for, you can't wear these just walking around every day. They're not a comfortable shoe, these super shoes. So they're all carbon plated. These are my first ever super shoe, carbon plated shoe. These are the Zoom Vapor Flies, so the 2s. They were very, very fast shoe. I wish I kept them in good condition. I was wearing them for like an everyday run. I just didn't know what I was doing. And I did get injured, my feet, my ankles, it wasn't working. And then until I switched over to the Kianos. But they are an amazing shoe, very quick, very light, and they're made for speed. So then I went and got, these are the newer version of these. I'll get to these in a sec, these are brand new. These were my first proper marathon shoes. I wore this for my first marathon, or maybe my second. But yeah, I got these from Dubai. These are the Alpha Fly 2s, Nike. This color never got released in Australia, so it's pretty cool. And again, an amazing shoe, just they're very tight on my feet. So every time I wore these, I got blisters, but it was worth it because they're a very, very quick shoe. They just look quick. So those were amazing. I probably won't wear these again, but I'll keep them as a memory. So how much pain I've been in. And then finally, these are the Vaporfly 4s. So these are the newest version of these. So Vaporflies are like amazing, really light carbon plated shoe. Probably wear these up to a 21 kilometer marathon. You could wear them for a full marathon, but they're not designed to go that far. Again, I wore these once and I got a 1 kilometer PB in them, which is pretty cool. And I'm gonna put them on tomorrow for my 5 kilometer park run, another PR attempt. So that's gonna be pretty cool. Full carbon, very light, and they're actually more comfortable than the 2s. So there you have it. That is all my running shoes up until now. And yeah, these ones pretty much just save them for race days and tempo days. And yeah, I like to alternate. It's really good to alternate your running shoes throughout the week. I'm going to be running up to 4 days a week very soon again for my next preparation, my next race. So every day of the week, I'll probably change that shoe just to use different muscles in the legs. And again, guys, if you don't know what shoe to buy, people always ask, Chris, like, what's a good running shoe? There is no good running shoe. It's like the good running shoe for you. What's going to work best? I suggest going to like a proper shoe shop and they'll tell you what your feet are like. Are they flat? Do they pronate in, out, neutral? And then they'll suggest the correct shoe. Again, it took me 3 shoes to find what shoe worked best for me. So it is trial and error and what works best. So yeah, happy running, guys. Lace up and let's go.